Stephanie Dobson is back with us this week for a segment of Healthy, Thriving Family After Divorce. Now, Stephanie, this week we're going to be talking about gray divorce. So can you explain to me what exactly gray divorce is?
Sure. It's a term that basically pretty intuitive. It means it's for couples who are separating later in life. So that often that term goes along with separating after the age of 50, or for parents who have children who have already left home and who are on their own.
So now you have some statistics, Stephanie, in regards to gray divorce. Can you kind of let us know what some of those numbers might be?
Yeah, in coming up with this topic, I thought it would be interesting for our viewers to look at some of the numbers. And interestingly, Stats Can stopped taking statistics on marriages and divorce back in 2008. So in Canada, it's a little bit harder to figure out what the rates are with respect to divorce, and then more particularly gray divorce. So I've got some statistics that are a little bit older, but they show a trend. So I've got that the divorce rate back in around, when was it? It was about 2008 was 38 to 40% of people who are married who go through a divorce. So generally between the years of 1993 and 2003, the divorce rate declined by about 11%. But for those couples between the ages of 50 and 64, the divorce rate actually rose by 34%. And then for those even in the older age group, so between 55 and 59, it rose by 47.8%. 60 to 64, it rose by 31.7%. And then for those ages 65 and older, it rose by 9.2%. Now in the States, there's more studies that are done with respect to marriages and divorces. And so I'll give you some US statistics that also drive home this point. So there's a book, I know some authors named Dr. Carol Hughes and Bruce Fredenberg, who wrote a book called Home Will Never Be the Same Again, and they explore the issue of gray divorce. So in that book, they refer to some statistics, more so worldwide, but there's one from the US by Bowling Green State University in 2012, which found that the divorce rate between 1990 and 2010 for those coupled ages 50 or older has doubled. And for those ages over the age of 65, it is more than doubled. So these results are staggering, and it really certainly shows a trend, not only in Canada, but in the US and also worldwide.
Stephanie, what do you think the reason is for the increase in this gray divorce? You know, especially when you hear statistics like people 65 and older still getting divorced, that seems not common, or normally would be something not common. So what do you think is the reason for this?
You know, it's of course it's really hard to know, and anything that I say about this is of course just based on some of my experiences or observations or some of my own thoughts. There's no real right answer to this, but first I attribute some of this perhaps to there being more dual income earners out there. And so in past decades, there's been perhaps more traditional marriages. And what I mean by that is, of course, that there's one primary breadwinner in the family, and the other spouse either works part-time or has a lower income, or stays home completely and doesn't earn an income. And so with those more traditional marriages, it can be more difficult and disabling for people to separate given the circumstances around their relationship. So having more dual income earners might be one possible reason. Another reason, and this is just more so based on what I've seen. I've been in practice for about 16 years, and I've seen some trends here. And so I talk about the level of dependency that's created by a relationship. And so in my view, what I've seen happen over the years is there be less and less dependency created. Now, one sort of dependency is, of course, financial dependency, which we've already gone through. But there's other factors of dependency. And so I find that there's more independence within a relationship that could be cause for people to say later in life, I'm not dependent on you as far as my happiness or as far as finances or any other way. And so I feel like I can move forward myself. Now, third, we also know that life expectancy keeps increasing as modern medicine and our health care industry progresses. And so, some people older in age might think, I've got lots of years ahead of me. I want to be happy, and so therefore they choose to separate.
Well, Stephanie, thank you so much for joining us this week, and we will be back again to chat with you next week.